Good afternoon. I explain about 12 tenses in past, present, and future tenses. Present tenses. Present simple. We use it to tell about things that happen again and again, habits, customs, and routines. Example. The structure in affirmative form is the next subject, class verb, class complement. For example, she needs to study psychology. In the negative form, subject, class, negative auxiliary, class verb, class complement. For example, she doesn't need to study psychology. In question form, the structure is auxiliary, do or does, class subject, class verb, class complement, class interrogative question. For example, does she need to study psychology? Okay. Grammatical rules. Grammatical rules in present simple. To conjugate, we use the infinitive for the subject I, you, we, and they. And for the third person, she, he, and it, we add is to the end of the verb. For example, subject is you, we, they. The conjugation is the next talk, eat, learn, do, go. In the third person, he, she, it, the conjugation is the next talks, eats, learns, does, goes. Present continuous. We use the present continuous thanks to the tag about the present for something that is happening at the moment of speaking. For example, in affirmative form, subject, class verb to be, class verb ing, class complement. In negative form, subject, class verb to be, class not, class verb ing, class complement. For example, I am not studying to become a doctor. In question form, the structure is the next verb to be, class subject, class verb ing, class complement, class interrogative question. For example, are you sleepy? Grammatical rules. Regular verbs created in the past simple and past participle, adding it to the base form. For example, base form, arrive, call, wait. Past simple, arrive, call, wait. Past participle, arrive, call, wait. If the verb ends in the consonant and "ed", we change the "a" to an "ed". Base form, Mary, study. Past simple, Mary, study. Past participle, Mary, study. If a verb ends in "a", we use "ed". For example, base form, hate, like. Past simple, hate, like. Past participle, eat, like. Present perfect. This tense is used with the situation already happened but continue to the present and may happen in the future. For example, the structure in affirmative form, subject plus auxiliary verb to have or has plus past participle. For example, we have been to Loreto City. In negative form, subject plus auxiliary verb to have or has plus not plus past participle. For example, we have been with having been to Loreto City. In question, the structure in question form is the next auxiliary verb to have plus subject plus past participle plus interrogative question. For example, have you been to Loreto City? Present perfect continuous. We use the present perfect continuous to show that something start in the past and has continue until now. Example. In affirmative form, I have subject plus has been, have been, plus the present participle plus ing plus complement. For example, I have been reading this book for 2 hours. In negative form, subject plus has not, have not, plus verb past participle plus ing plus complement. For example, I have been reading this book for 2 hours. In question, the structure is have, has, have, plus subject, plus verb past participle, plus ing, plus complement, plus interrogative question. For example, have you been reading this book for 2 hours? Past tenses. For past simple. Use the simple past to express idea that an action start and finish in the past. Example. The structure in affirmative form. Subject plus verb plus complement. For example, we saw a movie yesterday. In negative, we that saw a movie yesterday. In question, did we saw a movie yesterday? Past continuous tense. To use. Use with the situation had happened in the past but interrupted by other situation. Structure, subject, glass, was, were, glass, verb, ing. For example, when Maite was since the rain fell. Use with situation, two situations had happened in the same time in the past. For example, Paul was doing homework in bathroom, while Michelle was cooking in the kitchen. Past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is used to show that something happened before another action in the past. To form the past perfect tense, you use the past tense of the verb to have, which is had, and it's the past participle of the main verb. A structure in affirmative is subject plus had plus past participle. In negative Form is subject, glass had, glass not, glass past participle. In question, had, glass subject, glass past participle, glass interrogative question. For example, Carolina have lived in Riobamba for moving to Loreto is in affirmative sentence. In negative sentence, Carolina had lived in Riobamba before moving to Loreto. In question, had Carolina lived in Riobamba before moving to Loreto? Past perfect continuous. We normally use the past perfect continuous for some time we had done several times up to a point in the past and continue to the after and point. Structure. Subject, glass had, glass been, glass ing form of main verb, glass complement. In negative, subject, glass had not, glass ing form of main verb, glass complement. In question, had, glass subject, glass being, glass ing form of main verb, glass complement, glass interrogative question. For example, they had been talking for an hour before you arrived. In negative, she had been studying very hard. Future tense. Future simple. To use. Use with the situation had will happen in the future and have adverb of time to indicate time. Structure in negative and in affirmative subject glass will or shall, glass main verb, glass complement. In negative subject glass will not, won't, glass main verb, glass complement. In question, will, glass subject, glass main verb, glass complement, glass interrogative question. For example, Stephanie will quit before she reaches her goal. In negative, Stephanie will not quit before she reaches her goal. In question, will Stephanie quit before she reaches her goal? Future continuous. We use the future continuous to indicate that we will be in the middle of doing something in the specific time in the future. For example, she will be sleeping when I visit her. We will not be having dinner at home. In question, will you be coming to the party tonight? Future perfect. The future perfect expresses the idea that something will occur before another action in the future. I can also show that something will happen before a specific time in the future. Structure in affirmative subject will, glass have, glass verb past participle. In negative subject, glass won't, will not, glass have, glass verb past participle. In question form, will, glass subject, glass have, glass verb past participle, glass interrogative question. For example, I will have eaten breakfast at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I will not have eaten breakfast at 8 o'clock tomorrow? In question 4, will you have eaten breakfast at 8 o'clock tomorrow? Future perfect continuous. It refers to events or action in the time between now and some future time are unfinished. It is most often used with a time expression structure. Subject plus will have been plus present participle. For example, I will have been eating breakfast for 30 minutes at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, thank you. The next, my partner, Heidi.
Ok, ¿sí me escuchan?
Sí, Heidi.
We continue with the next exhibition, the two bird dances, the present tenses. Okay, the simple present we use it to tell about things that happen again and again, habits, custom, and routine. Depending on the person, the simple present tense is formed by using the root for or by adding s or s to the end. Okay, structure in affirmative subject plus verb plus complement. In negative, subject plus negative auxiliary plus verb plus complement. In questions, auxiliary do, does plus subject plus verb plus complement plus question mark. Okay, examples. He drinks tea at breakfast. Habits and routines. Other example, we catch the bus every morning. Repeat events in action. Other, the earth revolves around the sun. Other, open the pack or pour the contents into hot water. Okay, next. Okay, not on the third person singular of the simple present. In the third person singular, the verb always ends I and S. For example, he wants, she needs, he gives the things. For negative and interrogative forms, does. For example, dear person auxiliary do plus the infinitive of the verb is used. For example, we want ice cream. Does we want strawberry? He does not want vainilla. Okay, continue with present perfect. The present perfect is reference to an action or a state that either occur at an indefinite time in the past. For example, we have talked before or begin in the past and continue to the present time. For example, he has grown impatient over the last hour. This tense is formed by have or has plus the past participle. Okay, structure In affirmative, subject plus auxiliary verb to have or have plus past participle. For example, he has been to London. She has gone to work. In negative is subject plus auxiliary verb to have or have plus not plus past participle. For example, we haven't been to London. She hasn't gone to work. In auxiliary, question is auxiliary verb to have plus subject plus past participle. Okay, the construction of this verb, this is straightforward. The first element is have or has. Depending on the subject, the verb is conjugated with. The second element is the past participle of the verb. The verb is usually formed by adding ed or d to the verb root. For example, walk, clean, jump, love, sauce. Although English does have quite a few verbs that have irregular past participle, for example, don't, say, go, now, want, to, feel, eat. Example, I have walked on this path before. This example shows how the present perfect can describe something that occurred or was the state of things at a specific time in the past. Other example, if she has had a chick post since today, you can use the present perfect to tell about the duration of something that started in the past is still happening. Other use present perfect is used to describe an experience. We do not use it for a specific action. Other is the present perfect used for change in time. It is used for successful or achievement. Okay, continue. Present continuous. The present continuous is a verb this used to show action in the present. These actions are happening right now. To in structure, affirmative subject plus to be plus rise ing. Negative is subject be plus no plus rise is ing. Okay, examples. To describe an action that is taking place right now, for example, you are using the internet, or there is to describe a thing or action that is currently happening. For example, are you still working for the same company? Other to describe a future action or event that is already shown there. For example, I'm meeting my boyfriend tonight. Other is to describe a temporary situation or event. For example, the weather forecast was good, but it's raining at the moment. Okay. Continue, present perfect continue. Present perfect continue, also known as the present perfect progressive, show that something started in the past and continues in the present. The present perfect continuous is formed using the following structure. Structure and affirmative. Subject plus has or have been plus the present participle plus ing plus complement. And negative is subject plus has not, have not plus verb past participle plus ing plus complement. Question has or have plus subject plus verb past participle plus ing plus complement plus question mark. Okay, example, affirmative, she has been In negative, she hasn't been running. Interrogative, has she been running? Hasn't she been running? Okay, the past tenses. The simple past structure, the for the past simple with regular verb, we use the infinity at the end. If the form is the same for all example or all the people. The past simple is a verb is used to tell about things that happening or received before. For in structure, affirmative plus subject plus verb past plus complement. Negative is subject plus did not plus verb base form plus complement. Question is did plus subject plus verb base form plus complement plus question mark. Okay. The simple past is used to tell about an action that if in time before the current. Okay. It is always used to refer to when something happening, so it is associated with certain time expression that indicate frequency and certain indeterminate time. For example, in frequency, often, something, always. For example, I something walk home at low time and certain last week when I was a child, yesterday 6 weeks ago. For example, we saw a good film last week. And indeterminate time, the other day, I saw people like in cup time ago. For example, she played the piano when she was child. Okay, not the term I will use useful to express temporal distance in the past. It is placed after the period of time is question. Other past perfect. Okay, past perfect is used to indicate that one event occurred before another in the past. It does not matter which events it mentioned the first because the verb then may claim the temporal order which they occur. Okay. The past perfect is used to show that something happening before another action in the past. It can also be used to show that something happening before a specific time in the past. How to form the past perfect tense? To form the past perfect tenses, you use the past tenses of the verb to have, which is had, and add it to past participle on the main verb. For example, in structure is subject plus have plus past participle. In affirmative is subject plus had plus participle. In negative subject plus had plus past participle. In question is subject plus past participle. Okay, in this example events is the one occur first, event B occur next, it is the most recent event. For example, John had gone out. I have signed my document. When they arrive, he has been children. When I arrived in the office, before the computer crashed, he had already started cooking because he hadn't slept well. Okay, continue, past continuous tense. This is referring to a continuous action or state that was happening at some point in the past. The past continuous is formed by combining the past tense of to with the verb present participle. Uh, past, past continuous describe action or event situated in the time prior to the present, whose beginning is situated in the past and which has not yet conjugated at the moment of speaking. In other words, it expresses in complement or using an action from the past. In structure, subject plus was or were plus verb ing. Okay, the past continuous of any verb is made of two parts. The past of the verbs be, was, or were, and the stem of the main verb plus ing. For example, they were watching in affirmative. She was reading negative. She wasn't reading. Was she reading? Okay, past perfect continuous. The past perfect continuous corresponds to the present perfect continuous, but reference to a time before the recent past. And with the present perfect continuous, we are more interested in the present that result. It's true. In affirmative, subject plus had plus being plus ing for all main verb plus complement. In negative, subject plus have not plus ing for all main verb plus complement. Ha in question, had plus subject plus being plus ing for all main verb plus complement plus question mark. Okay. Okay, the future tenses. Simple future. The simple future refers to a time after the current one unexpressed fact or time. In this case, there is no room or attitude structure. Subject plus will or shall plus main verb plus complement. Negative subject will not, won't plus main verb plus complement. Question will plus subject plus main verb plus complement plus question mark. For example, it will rain tomorrow. He carried your bag for you. Shall I open the window? In modern English, we has a preferred use over shall. Shall is used primarily with the first people. For example, I and will. To offer or suggest something or to ask for advice, see the example above. With the rest of the people, you, he, she, they. Shall is used only in practic or literary construction and with their ring on her fingers and bells on her toe. She shall have music wherever she walks. Okay. Future perfect. The future perfect is composed of two elements. The simple future of the verb to have, we have, plus the past participle of the main verb. Is a verb that is used for action that will be complemented before some other point in the future. The future perfect refers to an action that that will be complemented in the future. When we use this, then we are projecting ourselves into the future and looking back an action, complement, and some point after the present. Most of the time, they use with temporary. Structure: subject plus will plus have plus verb past participle. In negative, subject plus won't, will not, plus have plus verb past participle. Question: will plus subject plus have plus verb past participle plus question mark. Future continuous. The future continuous is made up of two elements. The simple future of the verb to be plus the present participle root plus ing of the main verb. This is a verb tense that indicates that something will occur in the future and continue for an expected length of time. Its formal use, the construction will be the structure subject plus will plus be plus negative subject plus will not plus be plus verb ing plus complement. Question: will plus subject plus be plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Okay, the future continuous refers to an unfinished action or event that will continue to occur after the present moment. The future continuous is used for a considerable variety of purposes. Can be used to project or set into the future. For example, this time next week I will be so vaccine in Bali. He been coming to the meeting. I expect will you be bringing your friend to the pub tonight? Okay, future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous, also something called the future perfect progressive, is a verb that describes action that will continue up until a point in the future. The future perfect continuous consists structure and subject plus will plus has been plus the verb present participle, verb roots ing. For example, in affirmative, she will have been working as a teacher. Remember, all perfect these contain have. The been is the past participle of the verb to be, en Israel as sido, in Spanish haber sido, but is also translated estado. Okay. She is subject plus will is the future plus have been. In negative, she plus will plus know plus won plus had been plus working plus as a teacher. When we combine will and had, it sounds like a verb. In negative, will not occur as one. When we use it with not and won't. For write English, we use will not. For spoke English, we use won't. Okay, use. Example. Jessica, we have been studying English for 5 years when she moves to England next April. We use the continuous perfect future to show that something will continue until another action or time in the future. The use of the continuous perfect future is a way showing cause and effects in the future. For example, I'm not worried about the marathon as I have been running 20 kilometers a day for several weekends before. Thank you so much. Next, my partner.
Ok, ¿me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí.
Good afternoon. I'm going to explain about the verb tenses. Simple present. It is formed with the verb in the infinitive without the to. In the third person singular, it is necessary to have the suffix is used to indicate action that are usual carried out. For example, I study English every Friday. Facts and conditions that do not change. For example, the sun rises at 6 a.m. The structure in positive subject plus verb plus complement. In negative subject plus don't, doesn't plus complement. In interrogative, do, does plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Present continuous. It is formed with the auxiliary verb in the present tense plus the main verb with the suffix ing. It is used to indicate action that take place at the time of speaking. For example, it is raining. Future action or event that has already been scheduled are, for example, are they coming next summer? Action that are repeated continuously, usually accompanied by adverbs such as always, often, all the times, constantly. For example, Luis and Robert are constantly. In the structure, subject plus verb in ing plus complement. In negative, subject plus verb plus not plus verb ing plus complement. In interrogative, verb plus subject plus verb and ing plus question mark. Present perfect. It is formed using the auxiliary have in the present tense, have, has, plus the past participle on the main verb. It is used to indicate an action that began in the past and it is still ongoing for that took place in period of time that has not yet ended. For example, I have read or 25 books this year. An action or event that occurred in the past but whose effects are still evident. For example, I am not ready for my exams. My health has not been good this year. An action that has just ended expresses with the adverb just. For example, I have just fishing, finished my homework. In the structure, subject plus have has plus participle. In negative, subject plus have not has not past participle. In interrogative, have has plus subject plus past participle plus question mark. Present perfect continuous. It is formed with the verb in the present perfect plus the participle on the main verb. It is used in a very similar way to the present perfect, with the difference that in this case, the attention is focused not only on the result of the action, but also on its development. It indicates actions, initiatives in the past that continue in the present. For example, she was been working all day. Actions that have just been completed but whose results are still present. For example, it has been raining all day. The structure subject plus have has plus been plus verb in ing plus complement. In negative, subject plus have plus not plus been plus verb in ing plus complement. In the interrogative, have plus subject plus been plus verb in ing plus complement plus question mark. Past simple. It is formed with the past verb plus and suffix or with the appropriate for in the case of irregular verbs. It indicates past actions that occurred at the specific time, which can be given by a type press. Yesterday, last year, for example, Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1942. I watched many Netflix shows during the weekend. The structure in positive subject plus verb plus complement. Negative subject plus did not plus verbs plus complement. Interrogative did plus subject plus verb plus complement plus question mark. Past continuous. It is formed with the auxiliary of the verb was went plus present participle on the main verb. It is used to indicate an action perceived as unfinished or in progress in the past. It indicates description of context in which a past event occurred. For example, the sea was shining and the seagulls were fleeing when Julie decided to take the boat out. Action interrupted by an event or other action. For example, I was taking a shower when the phone rang. In the structure, subject plus was where plus verb in G plus complement. In negative, subject plus was where plus not plus verb ing plus complement. In interrogative, was words plus subject plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Past perfect. It is formed with the past tense of the verb add plus the past participle of the main verb. It is used to indicate an event that occurred before another event in the past. For example, the movie had already started when we arrived. I had paid for the taxi. The structure in affirmative, subject plus had plus past participle plus complement. In negative, subject plus had plus not plus past participle plus complement. Interrogative, had plus subject plus past participle plus complement plus question mark. Past perfect continuous. This verb tense corresponds to the present perfect continuous, but in the past tense. Again, the emphasis is on the progress of the action and not just on its completion. It is formed with the past perfect on of the verb be plus the present participle of the main verb. It indicates event or action that begins before another action in the past. For example, had Joe been waiting for long before the trains arrived? I had been working at the company for 5 years when I got the promotion. The structure: subject plus had plus been plus verb ing plus complement. In negative, subject plus had, not hadn't plus been plus verb ing plus complement. Interrogative, had plus subject plus been plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Simple future. The future simple is formed with wheels, shells, plus the base form of the verbs. It expresses fact of certain in the case there is not room for attitude. For example, it will rain tomorrow. I will play soccer with my friends next Tuesday night. I will call you back later. It will snow tomorrow. The structure in positive, subject plus will plus verb plus complement. In negative, subject plus will plus not plus verb plus complement. In question, will plus subject plus verbs plus complement plus question mark. Future continuous. It is formed with the simple future of the verb to be plus the present participle. We use the future continuum to refer to temporal action and events that will be progress and particular time in the future. For example, next week they will be flying to Australia from Saudi Arabia. She will not be working on Tuesday. At this time next year, I will be going on holidays. The structure: subject plus will plus be plus verb ing plus complement. In negative, subject plus will plus not plus be plus verb ing plus complement. In negative, in interrogative, will plus subject plus be plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Future perfect. The future perfect is composite of two elements. The future simple of the verb will have plus the past participle of the main verb. It indicates an action that will be completed in the future tense of the speech. We use the perfect for the future when we look at the past from a point in time. We usually use a time phrase, for example, tomorrow for 3 years. For example, by December, I will have written my thesis. I think hence on this month, they will have been in their house for 1 year. Next month, I will have worked for the company for 6 years. The structure subject plus will plus have plus past participle plus complement. In negative, subject plus will plus not plus have plus past participle plus complement. In interrogative, will plus subject plus have plus past participle plus complement plus question mark. Future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous is composed of two elements. The future perfect of the verb to be plus the present participle. It indicates an action that continues in the future and will be completed in the future or interrupted by another event. For example, I will have been studying English for the years by the end of this course. In September, she will have been living in France for a year. I have been studying English for the month this summer. The structure subject plus will plus have plus being plus verb ing plus complement. In negative, subject plus will plus not plus have plus being plus verb ing plus complement. In interrogative, will plus subject plus have plus being plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Gracias. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am going to tell about the 12 tenses of English. We are going to start with the simple present. The simple present tenses is one of several forms of present tenses in English. It is used to describe habits, unchanged situations, truths, and fixed arrangements. The simple present tenses is simple to form. Use base form of the verb I take, you take, we take, they take. The third person singular takes an S at the end. He takes, she takes. Structure. Affirmative subject plus verb plus complement. Negative subject plus auxiliary verb do or does plus not plus verb plus complement. Question. Auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb plus complement plus question mark. Example. For habits, she only eats fish. For repeats action or events, they drive to Monaco every summer. For general truth, her mother is Peruvian. For instruction or direction, open the pegs and pour into hot water. For fixed arrangements, his mother arrives tomorrow. With future construction, we will give it to her when she arrives. Present continuous. The present continuous These tenses is used to describe an action that is occurring right now, at this moment, today, this year. The action has begun and is still in progress. It can be occurred now, but is temporary. Structure. Affirmative subject plus be is are plus verb ing. Negative subject plus be plus not plus verb ing. Question be plus subject plus verb ing. Example, he is reading various kinds of books. They are playing football now. Simple past. We use a simple past to indicate exactly when an action or event took place in the past. We use irregular and regular verbs and two regular verbs. Structure. Subject plus verb plus verb in past plus complement. Negative subject plus didn't plus verb in base form plus complement. Question did plus subject plus verb in base form plus complement plus question mark. Example, I visited my brother yesterday. We went out to dinner last night. Past continuous. The continuous past is used for actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. The past continuous formed while the auxiliary verb to be in the past was or were and the verb ing. Structure. Affirmative. Subject plus was or were plus verb ing plus complement. Negative. Subject plus was or were plus not plus verb ing plus complement. Question. Was or were plus subject ing plus complement plus question mark. Example. I was making dinner when she arrived. At 6 o'clock, I was eating dinner. Present perfect. The present perfect of any verb is composed of two elements. The proper form of the auxiliary verb to have in present tense and the past participle of the main verb. The form of the past participle of a regular verb is wrote plus ed. Example, played, arrived, looked. Structure. Affirmative. Subject plus to have plus past participle. Example, she has visited. Negative. Subject plus to have plus not plus past participle. Example, she has not or hasn't visited. Interrogative. To have plus subject plus past participle. Example, has she visited? Negative. Interrogative. To have plus not plus subject plus past participle plus question mark. Example, hasn't she visited? Present perfect continuous. It is used for actions that have started in the past but continuous in the present. Structure. Affirmative sentence. They have been talking for their hours. I have been waiting for you for over an hour. Negative sentence. They have not been talking for more than a few minutes. Don't worry. I have not been waiting long. Interrogative. Have they been talking for a long time? Have you been walking too long? Past perfect. The perfect past refers to a time before the recent past. It is used to indicate that an event occurred for another event in the past. It doesn't matter which of the events is mentioned first because the verb tense makes clear the time order in which they occurred. Structure. Affirmative, subject plus had plus verb in past participle past complement. Example, he had been there before. In negative, subject plus have plus not plus verb in past participle past complement. Example, they hadn't eaten anything yet. Interrogative, had plus subject plus verb in past participle past complement. Example, have you ever done bungee jumping? Past perfect plus use. Use is used while past perfect to refer to an event that took place shortly before in the past. Example, the train had just left when I arrived at the station. She had just left the room when the police arrived. Past perfect continuous. We use the past perfect continuous for action or situation that continues up to an event past time. This can show a reason or give or guide background in information. Example, we look tired because he had been working all night. My eyes were closed. I had not been wearing my contacts. The structure, affirmative, subject plus have plus verb ing plus complement. Example, he had been watching TV all. Negative, subject plus have plus not plus been plus verb ing plus complement. I hadn't been crying. Interrogative, had plus subject plus been plus verb ing plus complement plus question mark. Example, how long had you been sleeping? Future simple. The simple future is to tell about an action or condition that will begin and end in the future. The affirmative, subject plus will or shall plus verb vice. In negative, subject plus will not plus verb in base form. In question mark, will plus subject plus verb in base form plus question mark. The example, your children will be the future on this. They will reading the letter to their best friend. I will read the newspaper to station. Tomorrow the sun will rise at 6 a.m. They will be here in 2 hours. Future continuous. Indicate an action which will progress and some definitive time in future. The structure in affirmative, subject plus be plus verb ing, a present participle. Example, I will sing the concert tomorrow. In negative, subject plus will plus not plus be plus ing. I will not be singing in the concert tomorrow. In question mark, excuse me, will plus subject plus be plus be verb ing plus question mark. Example, who be singing in the concert tomorrow. The other examples, will be raining at this time tomorrow. He will be visit his friends this next week. She will be watching TV. This time tomorrow we will be working on our project. The future perfect. This tense is used to describe an event or action that will be complete before another event or time in the future. Example, we will have finished the exam by the time class ends tomorrow. You will have finished your reports by this time next week. Future perfect continuous. This tense describes an action that has been in progress for a duration of time before another event or time in the future. The future perfect continuous is composed of two elements. The future perfect of the verb to be will have been plus the present participle of the main verb ing. The structure: subject plus will have been plus verb ing. Example, he will have been playing. In negative, subject plus will not plus or won't plus have plus been plus verb ing. Example, she will not have been using my bike. In question, will plus subject plus have plus been plus verb plus ing plus question mark. Example, will I have been cleaning the house for 2 hours? Thanks you.